Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Zelda's. Been nearly 3 weeks. I don't know what happened. I just don't. I'll try not to make a habit of it. In fact, summer's coming to an end, so hopefully I'll be working shorter shifts. I'll be less exhausted from work in general. Okay. Now we're in the water temple. After taking that super secret entrance that only elite gamers such as myself can actually find. I don't think you can shoot the bow underwater, can you? No. In that case, I think use the... I don't have it, fuck. Okay. That changes things. Yeah, I just have to go. Beans. Alright, so something that's kind of good about this temple is this first room here has choo-choos in it. Little slime-looking things. They're not as wiggly as the Wind Waker ones, but they are still made jelly, and jelly is delicious. So rather than having to leave and go buy a potion, I can actually just come back to this room and scoop up one of these boys anytime I want. They have both oil and health ones available. I think that the purple might even be a little stronger than a red heal. Don't quote me on that. It could be the other way around. I think one of these chests, or maybe both of them, have water bombs in them in case you run out. I'm not gonna bother with opening them just yet. Jesus, there has been a while. Oh my god, this is a real bout of lag. As the cutscene stops, I'm sure it'll speed up some. What? Let me just stare at a wall real quick. Wow, that is crazy. I don't think I've ever had that big of an issue with this game. I've played through it on emulator before. It's new. Ah, and it's so shitty because I have to use bomb arrows to knock down those thingies. What are they called? Stalagmites? The distinction between the ones that go up and the ones that go down that I don't know. Jesus. You know, I'm starting to think that this... There's gotta be something I can do about that. Let me take a quick look at my settings. I feel like it's an audio issue, but when I turn around, that's not the case, so it has to be the graphics, but I'm not doing anything special here. Huh. It must just be the textures. It could also just be a room-specific thing, so I'm gonna try and roll the hell through here real fast. Oh my goodness. I know I have the volume turned down ever so slightly for you guys. This is very ear-rapey to me. I apologize. And this room's fine. It's a pretty big room. I know that this goes all the way around. I can go down there and swim eventually. Hello. Is this the central room? It is. So, structure-wise, this one is pretty similar to the water temple in Skyward Sword. I don't remember that one super well, but you're pretty much just running around a big circular room and trying to get to the center. I think in Skyward Sword, the boss room might have been, like, high up. You had to raise the water to get to it. It's somewhat the case here, it's just a bit lower down. It's a pretty fun structure, though. You get things going. Or teleport boy. Not that we really need him. I'm sure I had a lot of stuff prepared to talk about at some point. You know, like 3 weeks ago when I meant to do this. But, I forgot most of it. We'll see if it comes back to me. In the meantime, though, I can talk about the other crap I've played. Of course. So. First game would be Masters of Anima, I think it was called. I think it's been a little over a month since I played it. It's the only thing I can really do, so might as well. Anyways, it was like, you know, Pikmin style game. Command a horde of dudes, while also having a character that you play as. Pikmin Overlord. That kind of thing. I really enjoy that genre. It used the low polygon with low detail textures, so a lot of people would still call it cell shading. I don't think that's what it was. There might have been, like, no lighting at all, even. Just low detail on low detail mesh, which looks quite enjoyable with post-processing. No complaints there. I don't think it's a very overdone style just yet. I'm sure it will be eventually. Like, some people just vomit when they see pixel art now. Kind of irks me, honestly, but what are you gonna do? Anyways, the game was relatively easy for the most part. I did play on the harder difficulty. Only like the second last boss, which I guess you would call the actual final boss, was pretty difficult. Other than that, the other ones are all relatively easy. Took a minute to get the hang of, but I didn't have any trouble with it. So the pacing was done pretty well too. Pretty much, first two missions you just have a basic set of unit types, then you start to hand out more, like each mission, until you just have a full party. And it starts to play around with what you can do with those. I played using a controller just for funsies. It probably would have been a lot easier using a mouse. But I didn't think it was too bad with controls. It was a little awkward to split up groups, though. So I kind of ended up just simplifying things and keeping all the same type of unit together. For the most part. It was also relatively short. I think it only took me like 8 hours to finish. And I nearly 100%'d it. There was like one health upgrade that I could not find for the life of me. I spent over an hour looking for it. You can take that out of the 8-hour total, I guess. Anyways, the game worked. Maybe they could have done a little more with the balancing, but it was an enjoyable experience overall. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm just walking around. This room had one of those in it, yeah. So did the one in the door below, so I need to find a key, which might actually be in the area below. If I remember correctly. Oh, did I not open this? Probably a map or something. Thank you, the devil. Not what I needed, but I did. Actually, if I didn't open it, I might have not been through this door. Hey! So I think I can hurt those guys with bombs, but I have the water bombs, which I can't replenish easily, so I'm not gonna bother. I'm gonna avoid them for now. Might be able to shoot it in the face too with an arrow. Speaking of bombs, pretty sure this doesn't reset, so I can just knock them down whenever I want. Aw, you freaking chain. Yeah, that one's over a geyser. Now we've got a rising platform. Because it's heavy, the water doesn't go quite as high. So let's just get that chest. Probably wouldn't take fall damage if I jumped off there, but I'm playing it safe. That one I blew up filled in that gap there. Damn it. Trying to get onto those vines, it wasn't working out. Oh boy. There we go. Got a small key. I need to get water into this room if I want to get up there. So I think I need to head back and go through one of the locked doors. But I can't... Yeah, I can't get anything under there either. No path for me to climb. I think there's a set of... Never mind. Can't walk around the bridge. I say, I think there's a set of vines leading up to the door I came in from. Like that right there. Alright, now, was another game. I seem to be forgetting it, so I'm just look at my freaking Steam profile real quick. Omensight. It's a weird name, that's why I forgot it, but I actually enjoyed it quite a bit more than the other one. I believe it's the second game made by the studio that did Tori's Path of Destinies. Conceptually, it's like the same kind of game, I guess. Arkham-y combat. More of a focus on dodging than pressing like the Y button to counterattack. So I guess it's more Bayonetta-y than Arkham. You can make that distinction. I don't know. Same kind of deal though. Fly from dude to dude. Keep a combo going forever. Yeah, conceptually same kind of deal. Groundhog's Day, repeat until you figure out the solution. I think there's a locked door like right here. It also used that same kind of art style, low detail and low polygon, but made better use of post-processing / lighting effects, so it looked much prettier. And the world was really interesting too. animal characters again, which are always fun. Nothing fan servicey about it. Now, gameplay-wise, it was serviceable, but, the real attraction was the story, of course, just like with the previous one. And, it was pretty good. You're sort of, you're called the Harbinger, you're an agent of the goddess, god, whatever, I don't know, you just protect the world whenever something cataclysmic happens. So you're basically a detective. Goes back in time and tries to figure out how to stop whatever happened. And, the game does have an option to, like, give you less hints on what you're supposed to be doing, but I still felt it was a little hand-holdy as far as, guidance goes. Because when you make a choice and find out critical information, it will just not let you make the wrong choices anymore on that day, rather than just going able to, see whatever you potentially missed. I thought that very, streamlined the experience in comparison to the previous game, both a good and bad thing. On one hand, I'm doing less useless stuff, on the other, I've lost my freedom. Now, so I mentioned that there's key information that you find. Whenever you do that, the way the whole day will play out will end up changing because of the game's name, Omensight. You can sort of show people a vision of what you saw, and they're like, oh shit, I'm gonna do this instead, maybe that'll help. Usually it doesn't, but, you know, you get more information from that as well. I think I'd be able to climb up there. It doesn't seem very tall, but I don't think I can. So, I guess I went the wrong one. This is actually that room I was in before. If you, look down there. This thing's gonna spin around, and then those platforms on chains are gonna spin. That's how I get to other parts of that room. King Steve, welcome back. I'm playing another Zelda game, coincidentally. And I think I can actually blow this one up. There we go. It's only a bubble. I think I might actually be able to pop it. Apparently it's made of snot. Yeah, I'd be surprised I remember you too. Just, well, I have maybe one consistent viewer at the moment, so I remember everyone who talks to me. Still. Has been a while though. Nearly a year. I think I played Ocarina back in November. I think I might have climbed up the wrong vines. How have I been? A little iffy. The summertime's coming to an end, so things are calming down at work, but my asthma likes to act up in between seasons, so I've been feeling a little poopy in the morning. Otherwise, I'm doing alright. Okay, so that's the first bit of water flowing now. It means that the temple gimmick is finally in effect. Wow, those arrows are still in him. That's nuts. You'd think they just fade away once they're off screen. So you see, as soon as we went out the exit, we see that the water is now turning on the wheels. So in case you somehow don't recognize what a water wheel is, that immediately tells you what you're supposed to be doing. Until you ran into all those doors that were already blocked by him. Because that wheel's turning, it's connected to this. Which means I can go back in that room and use the doors. I might be able to actually just jump back down. Though I might break my legs, so I should probably not. Take the safe way. Again, there are those free choo-choos in the first rooms. This is probably the one dungeon where I can be a bit goofy. Not worry too much about my health, but I'm still playing it safe just to save time. Oh boy. Those water are now in the center. My HTC was rising up to a locked door. I believe that is the boss door. I think there's a chest down here too. I dove down. Not at the bottom, then there should be a walkable area towards the edge that probably has it. This right here. It was walkable, now it's covered in water. What was I talking about? Omensight, that's right. So, I just explained the mechanic. Which means... Right, so as... show the people the visions, and that changes the way the day plays out, and use that to get more information. Eventually solve the mystery, world saved, right? I don't feel like I did too many repeats of the same stuff. It did start to wear on me towards the very end, but pacing-wise, it was just enough. However, once you get to the ending, you get a rather bittersweet ending. Not gonna spoil that, of course, but the reason I bring it up is because when the game was finally ported to Switch, the Defeninive Edition added, you know, a happy ending. Now, there is no pop-up telling you to go back in and load your save file again after you finish the game, but if you happen to do it, you'll get a little pop-up saying, hey, if you go back and make all those wrong choices that we didn't let you make before, like, why didn't you do it after implementing the thing, but, if you go back and make all those wrong choices and gather all the missing information, then you can go back and get a happy ending. And that's when, grinding through the same days actually starts to wear on you, because you aren't seeing new content anymore. You're just doing stuff for very minute pieces of information. I need to get this turned so that the water is coming off of there and flowing into somewhere. However... Wait a minute, I'm dumb. The room with the spinning things, I can use, I can go in there. So, yeah, when they make the game's true/happy ending, depend on getting all the wrong information or making all the wrong choices. I don't understand why they didn't just take that feature out, or they prevented you from making them until you solved the mystery. I feel like I maybe would have enjoyed it a bit more, or felt like it was less of a grind at that ending. Otherwise, this is a pretty enjoyable experience. Without the Definitive Edition patch, I'd recommend it, I guess. If you're looking for something short. With it, though, you know, I'd talk about it. My friend asked me to play a good game, I'm like, yeah, check this one out, it's pretty cool. Is it that much of a point boost? It goes from like a 6 to an 8, I guess. These are not IGN numbers. 6 does not mean trash. Right, like 5 is, it's the middle, it means average, so 6 means above average. I think that yellow one's lantern oil. And they kind of do a little Resident Evil herb mix when they join together like that. I think neato. I believe this is the mini boss room, which means I'm gonna get my gadget. It's the exit to the mini boss room anyways. I need to find a different way in. There's another door right over there. That might take me to where I need to be. I just happen to have a small key. Perfect. See, there's no armor protecting its butt, so you can actually still damage it from there. And that's why the roll counter attack thing you learned just before this is pretty useful. Similar to the spiders in the first dungeon. You just get a way to finish them easily. I don't think I can shoot my water bomb arrows underwater, so I just have to actually equip them and wait it out. I mentioned before, but this is why I use the bomb arrows almost always. Arrows are basically free, you'll never run out of them. It's the instant explosion that I want, though. Hey, this is the boss room. Sweet. Okay, I don't know if I need bombs. Probably gonna want the bow, though. Switch those. Now this fight can just never start if you don't realize that you have to look up, but the stuff falling on you should piss you off enough to wonder where it's coming from. target on his cheek. Kind of funny. Aww. Yeah, I don't think the bomb's gonna do anything, but I do need to heal. There we go, I didn't get crushed this time. I really like the music for this one. So goofy. Like a big fat frog. It's kind of screwed up that they only tell you about the spin in Ocarina. Because this fight's a lot easier if you have the knowledge how to do that. I actually die. I promise I'm not just spamming X. Just, it's hard to... Doing the spin on your controller doesn't always work out. Like, you need to hit it as soon as you've done a full spin with the stick, I guess. But it's hard to know when you've actually done the full rotation. On the other side of that wall, there's the 2 jellies. I can go right over there and get some heals. Also, instead of the bow, using the bombs might help. Or even the boomerang. I'm curious about how that works. It didn't respawn. Oh boy. You know, I think I'll try my luck. Unless this guy takes me right back here. I'll give that a try, actually. Go to the room, and I'll teleport back. Okay. God, that looks so creepy. It just popped out of his head. That looked ridiculous. I think I've only ever used him once just to figure out what he even did. my boots. Yeah, we're just going right back to that first room. Kill the jellies. Meantime, though, we can talk about the last thing that I played. And it's a big one. Something people might actually care about. Fire Emblem. Yay. 3 Houses, that is the newest one. So, I literally just finished my first run last night. Took roughly 85 hours. As far as JRPGs go, that's a little on the shorter side, actually, but the thing is, you have to play the game like 3-4 times if you want to see everything. Because, as the name would imply, 3 houses, you get to pick one of 3 of the factions at the school. And you think, okay, maybe it's just the same story, and you know, you hear different characters, use a different setup. To an extent, that's true, but then it's not. See, every month you're tasked with doing some mission for the church. And that's basically the whole progression route for a while. The game goes through about 2 years worth of months, give or take. So 24 big missions. I think there was actually only like 22 in my run, but you know what I'm saying. Anyways, every month the chapter will change and you hear the narrator say, Part 1, this, and then you'll say the name of the chapter. So, obviously Part 1 is the beginning, and that plays out about the same between all the factions. One of them in particular has a big drastic change towards the end of it. So if you plan on only playing the game twice, maybe I'd recommend picking them once you discover who they are. I don't want to spoil that. But, so Part 1 is Part 1, but then Part 2 is entirely unique to whichever people you sided with. There's actually 4 versions of Part 2, all with completely unique missions. So that makes up like the last 30-40 hours of the game. So it is very much worth it to replay it. In fact, the blue one's good. Take that, never mind. This is the laggy room. I really don't know what's going on in here. You know, if I talk, the volume will be even quieter for you guys, so be thankful that I have stuff to talk about. Crap. I'm making noise so you don't have to hear that you're raped. Sorry, I can only make noise for so long. What was I saying? Right, all things are unique, so it's worth replaying. I picked the golden deer for my first run, and from what I've heard, they have like the most laid back slash relaxed and happy story for the most part. Some things are just downright grim at points in the game, just because of the way it's structured, I guess. The Golden Deer is pretty balanced. They got a decent amount of each type of class with them. And everyone can basically train into anything. Not that it's not true for the other guys, but the Golden Deer are more geared for being jack of all trades. Now, as far as their story went, I have a feeling it's probably the most canon of the 3 or 4. Just because I got like a big explanation of all the weirder stuff in the game towards the ending. Which obviously you wouldn't get with the other factions. So we'll have to wait and see with that. The final boss on their side kind of came out of nowhere, so it was a bit disappointing. And he was really freaking difficult, but like, literally only my main character, who I dumped all the bonus stat items into, was able to take him on, but I didn't lose anybody. Yes, I played on Classic, but the game has a built-in rewind feature, which makes you know, Classic mode a lot more forgiving. You start with like 3 rewinds that you can use whenever, but I think maybe every 10 levels you get a bonus charge, and as you invest in one of the persistent things, the saint statues, which give you like passive bonuses, you can get more of those as well from them. I need to get over there, but there's a wall in between both of these, so I have to turn the stairs. So yeah, I think that makes the Classic mode a bit more fair, because say you're doing a mission and then enemies literally spawn, which is absolute bullshit and happened to me several times. You can't account for those spawns, you don't know where they're gonna be, and you just happens that the guy is right next to your mage and they get 1 hit. Oh, too bad. I guess that guy's dead forever, right? No. That's why the rewind's fair. No, I didn't lose anybody. That was good. As far as only having your 1 class, that's how it starts for a while, but maybe halfway through the game, if your character's stats are high enough, or if the character likes you enough, you can actually steal kids from the other classes. That's the door I need to get in. I think it's kind of funny. And you can actually, like, hear their perspective on what happens. Yeah, what happens to the other classes because they're not in them anymore, or, all of them have the unique conversations with all the kids in your class, which you wouldn't see otherwise unless you stole them. So it's a relatively well-implemented feature, but it makes it all the more sad once stuff goes down. Now, after you finish the game, you do unlock New Game Plus, which makes replaying it all the more easier. You get to keep those saint statues, so everyone's already getting more experience for everything from the get-go. You can change their outfits to any ones that you unlocked. You can rebuy skills that you've previously mastered. You can straight up buy professor levels, which let you train people more in your free time. So you can pretty much power level everyone on your second and third runs. It is a welcome addition. I still expect it to take me a while, but like not another 80 hours, maybe 30 or 40. Yeah, so I mentioned that you can train people, and that's a big part of how character development works. You straight up teach them to do things, and they'll be good at it. Their stats that they get from leveling up play into it, of course, but anybody can do just about anything. You teach someone faith, anybody will be able to heal anyone, unless their class strictly forbids magic. I consider that a pretty major quality of life thing. So I enjoyed my whole time with it, and I do plan to do at least one more playthrough. I've started one with the blue lines this time. It's actually the first game in the franchise that I finished. I got pretty far in Awakening and Path of Radiance, but I never actually beat them for some reason. Something that I did think was just a little weird pacing-wise was the romance options slash your wedding. Literally the last thing you see before the credits. I thought it was so weird that they'd end the game on that. Contextually, it makes sense that you wouldn't get married during a war, like, while people can still die, and just make it all more heartbreaking when your wife who dies. But I still think that they shouldn't have made it the last thing that you see before the credits roll. Very off-putting. I actually picked one of the students that I stole from the Blue Lions in that. In case you care. I think a lot of people like want to go for Hilda, who's on the Golden Deer. But the thing about her is, she is mentally abusive, and I don't stand for that. Right, she's pretty, she's one of the only students that's 18 at the start of the game. But she just, like, manipulates everyone into doing work for her. And it's kind of screwed up. I think it's hilarious, but realistically, I'd punch her if I ever met her. The only other student of note in the class was Lawrence, who I started out kind of hating. Because he was just like an elitist freaking white knight, incel guy. And it was pretty funny to listen to his conversations, but I was also like, fuck this guy. But he has a character arc I guess, and he becomes someone who's actually kind of respectable by the end of it. I'm not saying Lawrence is best boy, but, like, he's my man now. I'd probably go out of my way to recruit him. He actually becomes a pretty powerful Dark Knight, so he's a super useful character. The other most useful character would have been Lysithea. Not only does she have 2 crests, but she's just a mega OP mage. And her artifact weapon that you get from Lawrence's quest line, I guess, makes her just infinitely OP by extending her range to like 5 tiles. Now, why does her artifact come from Lawrence's quest line? That's a good question, and Lawrence can technically use it. The artifacts are all tied to the crest the character has. And they don't reap the benefits of it if they don't have the crest, but anyone can still technically use it. Lysithea's got a weird thing with the character though, where she has 2 of them, and she happens to share Lawrence's crest. So it's much more useful on her. Lawrence doesn't come online as a mage till pretty late game. Hold on. I believe there's a heart piece up on this chandelier if I can walk back up here. As far as people being OP, the other OP guy would be freaking Ignatz. Old Glasses boy lacks self-confidence, but he just crits like a motherfucker. He's a pretty decent mage too. He's actually a jack of all trades. Makes a good mortal savant class. Now, as far as the setting goes, things are just ever so slightly different. You're in a sort of racist/prejudiced nation. So that's a bit weird. Everyone's white because of that. There is, of course, like 1 or 2 characters of unknown age that are not lollies. But, like, shapeshifters don't exist. Or I guess they do, but you don't have them in your party. There's no dragon, there's no were-bunny. But there are monsters as enemies. They actually have to approach them a little differently from the others, which I enjoyed. There's a change of pace from the other guys, especially if you've gotten to the point where you're one-hitting everything. You won't be able to one-hit a monster. I think I have to use my claw shot to get across here the first time. This spot should be safe. This, if you actually lower yourself down like this, it's pretty cool. I guess that's all my thoughts on the game, really. However, there is one interesting story to share. And that would be that, the voice actor for the male main character, he played Reagan in Mob Psycho 100. Really awesome show that you should watch, if you haven't. But during an interview, he accidentally said, yeah, I do the voice in that new Fire Emblem game. Apparently that's enough to break NDA. He didn't even say that he was the main character or anything. Like, yeah, I am a voice in that game. Nope. So Nintendo actually went and had all of those lines re-recorded, and sometime in the near future they're going to patch his voice out if they haven't already. I didn't want to deal with having my character's voice change halfway through the game. It would have been too jarring. So I have not yet updated mine. It's pretty saddening, though. I like Reagan's voice. Oh, I can actually get in from right there. I didn't notice. I thought that fence went on until the end of the wall. Alright, so you see this room looks very similar to the last one, which means that we're going to get more water. Also, you see there's a bubble boy? Well, now I can go, get over here! I can pull this rock up behind here too. Yeah, I can't. I just cracked the wall. Oh boy. Changing my position ever so slightly will help. Or I can fall. God damn. At least it's not damaging me. Yeah, I don't think this is working out. Okay, oh. I can jump through the crack, I'm dumb. I literally did this in the other one and I just forgot to focus on trying to knock that down. Assume that there's even anything to knock down. It doesn't look like there is. See that? It was a fake out. So I actually like the claw shot a little more than the hook shot, just because it looks more mechanically sound. Like I can see this being a thing that works in real life a bit more. I don't know where the hell all the chains go. Presumably it just wraps around inside the glove part, but it makes a little more sense than the hook shot did. Hell, I wouldn't even trust the hook shot to pull me in without getting unstuck from whatever piece of wood I launch it in. Once the claw, like, digs in, has a grip. there's a chest or anything down there. Whoa! Alright, so you see how his shell's got holes in it? That's what you can do with it. Now his whole body is exposed, and it makes playing him a lot easier. If you're far enough away, you can actually take that shell and throw it back at him. I missed, obviously. Jesus. Yo, I got him that time. Oops. I was gonna say, I just noticed that the bomb combo just uses the default bomb icon. And why go out of your way to make a second sprite, I guess, but it really wouldn't have taken that much work. Just stack them on top of each other. Cool they got away with it, though. I didn't notice till just now. And I played this game how many times? I wanted to get that chest before I did this, but I just have to throw my boots on real quick. There's waterfalls in this room, so I really don't know what's going on with that one that was lagging so much. Nothing even super complex in there. Like 4 enemies, a couple sources of water, and that's about it. It's not even a large room. There's no reason I should have lagged that much, but it just does. I just got the compass, right? I'm not... Yeah, I wasn't a heart piece or anything. Memento. I didn't script the audio right. Pulled out my headphones. I was just closing the door because the cat left. Yeah, I think that the browned out chest symbol means I've opened it. I wish that it would just disappear, because they can use that brown one to show that I've opened it, but not taking the item from it. And I think that'd be infinitely more useful than marking where something I can't open is. Oh boy. Skull Man. Oh, yeah, he's dead. I was planning to just shoot him, but he killed himself. Oh no. Well, I guess I have to go back up, but no reason I can't go through that door over there. See, there's no wheels on that one. You have to hang off on your claw shot. Kinda shitty if you didn't knock down the bats, because I think they can knock you off. Bats, keys, same thing. In fact, these bats have 2 eyes, so they're not keys, they're bats. I think that circular room might be where I get the boss key, actually. So I might have just did a minor sequence break. Nice, so elite. Compass says there's nothing to look for in here, so I'm not gonna bother. I hate mazes. Not even the most complex maze, but you go so slow in the water that it makes it all the more annoying. I'll do it. Oh, the bomb fish is an actual fish. I wonder if it's like the primitive version of the bomb spider. Which is, of course, the evolution of the bomb flower. Who's tired of getting picked. explosive self-defense mechanism wasn't enough. So I decided to grow legs. And then grew fins to get away from anyone who'd pick it. It's like 300 with my max capacity. I'll have to do that star game maybe to get a bigger wallet. Or the wallets might come from Agatha, actually, the bug collector. Either that or the Postals. We haven't collected any of yet. I've seen the floating lanterns at night, though. Those wreaths are collectibles. Never found all of them, but they're probably the easiest one to get out of all of them. Because the bugs are just so tiny, you can miss them easily. The only issue with the lanterns is that they're only available at night. I have to fall in there from above, but that chest is a boss chest. Which means the place I fell from will probably lead me to there. Get zapped. Claw shot doesn't actually do any damage. At most, you can use it to stagger a guy. Like one of the small bokoblin enemies. However, bats just die upon collision with anything. The claw shot can be used to kill them. Kind of annoying about switching these is I have to wait for that one. It's not even one on the other side. I have to wait for that to get over that side. After that, though, I don't have to walk too far. I can just claw my way up the same way I did originally. Oh! That was lame. Jeez. Getting a fair amount of dropped frames. Sorry if that's coming out bad in the recording. They seem to be happening in very small amounts, but still, I normally don't get any. Or one at most. There's nothing crazy happening with the weather either, so I don't know why that'd be happening. Could be that the internet provider somehow got overloaded by freaking by Warcraft players. I doubt that, though. Can I just mention for a second, like, how sad it is that you have to wait, like, 3 hours to get in game for WoW Classic? Just launched recently. I mean, these people have several of the biggest multiplayer games on the planet. Freaking Call of Duty, Overwatch, and Warcraft, of course. Even StarCraft to an extent. It's probably only really big in Korea, but the Koreas. Both of them. But you know, they should have a crap ton of servers ready and available. They should know how to set them up almost immediately. And somehow there's just a big line of people who can't play the damn game. And you have to pay them money to not play the game because they're a subscription model. That's so shitty. Uh-oh. I didn't realize I drank my potion. Oh, hey, speak of the freaking devil. Don't you dare merge. Oh! Oh. Okay. It's really not that bad. Because I got the water moving already, I should be able to get in. Oh, wait, you can just checkpoint me, okay. Even better. I was gonna say I should be able to get in on the top level from the main chamber. I don't know what could be in this. Bombs. Really? I mean, it's a full stack of them, but... A chess? A fancy chess? Not a brown one? I can actually only get to, the spinning cogs from the other side, so I have to go through this room again. underground chest. It's not even worth going out of my way to grab. So let's hop on this one and not die. Lizard people are still dead. I didn't kill him, so he's still alive. Now he's dead. Man, he was knocked down and ready for a finisher attack, so he would have died anyways, but I think it's hilarious that I knocked him off with that. See that frame perfect input? So it's in one of these rooms where there'll be vines on the wall. Ow, pinching a nerve. Yeah, there'll be vines on one of these walls, and I can use that to go and swim around down there. I think there's a heart piece somewhere down there, if I'm not mistaken. Not showing up on the map, but it could just be because I'm not in the water. Also, I messed up, didn't I? Where was the... We'll explore. We'll see how I can get up there. You gotta have something to do with this, right? That's the wrong button. There's the vines. And that is on the east side of the room. Not sure how I'm supposed to get into that center. Something might even appear after I kill all the enemies here, if I remember correctly. Too close to him. feel so dumb when I don't get anything for doing this. I think we're about halfway done, though. Or 75%. Thought I was saving time. Okay, we're gonna do a quick swim. See if I kill them all. If not, I just wasted everyone's time. And we'll do another lap up top to see how I can get into the center there, if I even can. Yeah, I just wasted everyone's time. Awesome. This is where we came from, so on the other side, there might be something. Yeah, there's nothing. Gosh darn. I don't know what I was thinking. Is this even the same room? There's a corpse there. Cool, I can do that. There we go, pressure plate. I was wondering how I was gonna do that without a second claw shot. Wait, it's another jar. Damn. I was hoping for a fairy. I guess that's all there was to here. Right? It's just the boss room again. Actually, I might be able to do something in there. Claw shots. Check a look. Try here first. Not seeing any vines. Jelly boys. Purple jelly, not even a good kind. So, question of the day. If, like, gel and jelly are basically the same kind of substance, only one being safe to eat, and the other not so much, why do we spell one with a G and the other with a J? I bet I did swim through there at some point, and I'm just wasting more time. Oh boy. And I think that's all I could have done with that new source of water. Its main purpose was just to fill up to the boss room. On the other side of this, there is the bottom layer of the spinning gears. I want to go there from above, but how do I get there from above? Like, there's the towers with the stuff. There's that room over there that I haven't been to in the top right. I guess I can try going there. I don't see how I get there, but I'm gonna try. Top layer of the mini boss room? Looks like it. I get the claw shot in there, so why would that be? Alright, let's just try going up a layer and get that chest, which probably has a heart piece in it, at the very least. What I think's a neat touch is that, you know, the heavy boots make you walk slow normally, but when you're underwater, they make you walk faster. Kind of like how running normally makes you fast, but if you try it while you're in the water, you'll just end up wasting energy, get exhausted real quick, without going anywhere. It works kind of the same way, just like pushing yourself forward with weight and riding the current instead of actually running. I don't think I need to actually rotate this, but I will. I'm not sure what I'm looking for, but I need to get into that room, which seemingly has no connection to anywhere else besides the mini-boss room. Oh, I really doubt that I'm gonna make it through there this way. At the very least, I'll get whatever's in the chest, though. It's actually faster if I run on this, but I have to be careful or I'll fall. That. If I fell off the other way, he just grabbed the ledge, but if you slide, it's goodbye. Those little claw shot spots along the wall to help speed things up. It's a little faster to walk though. Have to get down here. It's a little faster. Feels faster anyways. I think I'll do this the rest of the way because I don't like the idea of falling here. Roll, 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 roll. Money, that wasn't worth the trip at all. How I feel every day of my life. I don't need money. If I have enough of it for it to not necessarily what I need to be fulfilled. If that makes any sense. Obviously, I need a lot more to live out the rest of my life. I just wish I got to use my brain a bit more at work. Not many jobs that let you do it, though. Quite saddening. Even working at a desk, it's mostly just data entry. Read a piece of paper and drop it in a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet. Which sounds even more mind-numbing. Oh boy, that was a waste. I did say this is probably my favorite water dungeon. Doesn't make it any less confusing. They're always long and confusing. I guess the one Scoured Sword wasn't so bad in comparison. Got the whole undead thing going on. A lot more combat focused. The issue with that was there were these weird blocks where you'd have to hit them without touching the other parts of it, or hard to explain, but you'd have to be like, but like in a specific pattern, so it was really wonky. Oh boy, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? How do we get over there? That's 100% just the boss room, right? Mini boss room? No doubt. Doesn't look like it leads anywhere either, so didn't worry about it. But what if there's treasure? It'd be marked in the black room. How am I supposed to get above there? Where am I? I just need to go to the top layer and see what I can find. There's no other way. Go over there. Shortcut. Take a more well-hidden shortcut. So, you'd think that being able to go out into the water there was intended to be a shortcut in between these, but there's only vines in the one spot, so I don't get it. There has to be a reason for being out there, but it seems like there's none. There is one more hog I can kill if I went into the first bridge, I think. But would that spawn a chest? I'd freaking hope. So it's further towards the room with the tower. Maybe somewhere just to the left of that chest. Doesn't look like there is anything over there. Can I go up even higher, maybe? Doesn't look like it. Watch it turn out that everything I need is just in that one room. I feel so dumb. I wonder if I can use this to scoop me up. No. And there's nothing down here besides that chest with all the bombs. There's vines there. Okay, it has to be in that room. So I guess I'm gonna fall. Things are going a little smooth until I activate that last water source. Now, we gotta deal with this. That it down there. Door. Yeah. If I fall from right here, it might work out. Trying to save time, might end up just killing us though. If I get on this and fall when it is on here. Okay. You know, when I made my little mascot character, I mostly just put him in that pose to show off his crab claws. However, I now realize that I actually do that pose when I'm angry, so it kind of works out like that. It's not intentional. I can even get back onto that from here. I want to try. Hey! 420 no scope. I'm sure that sounded absolutely horrible over my microphone. I was doing a mouth kazoo. So there was one rock that I never blew up. I didn't think it was going to lead to anything. Maybe it will, though. It might actually be somewhere over here. No. Somewhere in here, right? Yeah. I don't think this will lead to anything. But maybe it will. Who knows? Oh, it made a sound, that's a good sign. Shortcut. No, this area is isolated. I might have actually just found the way to go. All because I made an assumption. But you don't assume things. Wrong. And how much time did I just waste because of that assumption? Like 20 minutes? Guys, racism looks bad. Most prejudices are. Remember the Library of Alexandria? I have to lower myself down so it doesn't eat me. There we go. And I have the thing, so I'm gonna kill the boss, and I guess that'll be all we really have time for. I originally thought I was gonna go get the Master Sword during this, but then that happened. Otherwise I would have had the time. Go for it. Hopefully there's a fairy just outside the boss room. I don't want to drink potion that I don't have. So why did I do that, you might be asking yourself. Well, you see, I thought that it was going to ask me to save, but then it just said return to the title screen. And that was just a little too sketchy. I was going to say, if I went to the title screen, it would probably output me back at the start of the dungeon. And then I can get that red potion, just like that. still might be the plan, actually. We'll see if there's 1 or 2 fairies, though. This hole. Just shoot him. I won't miss. I missed. I didn't even mean to do that one. Okay, so just because I hate waiting, I think I'm going to zoop back up there and maybe even grab the jelly. Well, now we have to wait. Now realize the flaw in my plan that I can just do that. Alright, we're just gonna go right to the central chamber then. Room is starting to lag a little, so I think that it has to be the water effects, the running water. There's not too much of that in the game in total, though. Okay. Fairy. Not fairy, fairy. You know what, maybe I will scoop it, huh? Get over here. Okay. Now, if I just leave the room and come back, that fairy should respawn. If not, oh man, I'll go into the boss room. I don't care. I don't think it's super difficult, this one. Not as much of a cakewalk as the baby man. But still nothing super crazy. It is only the third boss of the game. Or fourth, technically. Excluding mini-bosses. Grab the ledge! No! Oh well. We got this. We don't got this. Plunging attack. Like a plumber's super move, the plunging attack. Wow, an eyeball. Wonder what I have to do with that. It's definitely not because it looks like a target or anything. Nintendo always uses eyeballs. Weird that it just swallows its own eye like that. He grabbed me, no! I have a fairy, but no. He dodged that tentacle like a champ. Doesn't just bend its arm and grab me? Come on, that's too realistic. My intention was to try and throw a bomb in its mouth and see if that did anything. Of course, I can just keep getting grabbed because I don't remember this phase of the fight even existing. You know what? No, I just, like, dropped my own now. Because that'd be too easy, that's why. To do it from the ground. This is the boss that I remember. Big ol' swimming turd. Couple of tentacles. Maybe I should use the plunging attack on it. I think he spawns piranhas or something. He doesn't ever bite you. Unless I'm knocking over his pillars. But all you really gotta do is walk onto his eyeball like that. It's more so for spectacle. I guess that first part of the fight was supposed to be the hard one. Boy, does it look cool though. actually similar to the one boss that you fight in the skies in Skyward Sword. It's like a big swinging snake with you know, an eyeball on top, of course. I get a couple weak spots, but the eyeball on top was the one you fought like on foot. Maybe they're related. Wolf 3 says this is the end. I wonder what the advantage is of having a mouth that opens both ways. Probably isn't one, they just thought it looked intimidating. Realistically, it just makes it harder to fit anything in there, because now it has to match, like, this opening plus this one. It's the last piece of a helmet you don't get to wear.
The build one from West. If you need one in my unit, if you need to wait, with the way gone hunt.
You see how I just sank into the ground? So I'd like to explore Lake Hylia with my claw shot a bit more, but we don't actually get the opportunity to for a little bit. So I'm going to take off the tunic, just because it makes me weak against fire and ice. That's kind of shitty, even if it does look cool as all hell. Minus the flippers. I wish they just ever so subtly mesh swapped it to look like normal boots when you're on land. I'm not gonna need that. Want the bow. Probably bombs.
What have you children
See that claw spot up there? We're gonna get that. We're gonna get that one day. When cutscenes aren't happening. So I don't think we actually met Zant yet. But he exists. He's kind of built up to be our bad guy for the longest time. We saw him in one cutscene when the castle was taken over, but, you know, Link hasn't met him. He's just gonna take the Fuse Shadow like we didn't even work for anything. But I guess following Link to the past structure, you'd be Aghanim. So, you know, Ganon's gonna come out of nowhere, but this is gonna be the bad guy for most of the game. Zooms in on his dead eyes. He's just wearing a helmet. You tried to dodge the magic, not just launch yourself into it, guy. Shit. Now he's got a fully coolie horn. Gonna pull a guitar out of that one day. He's slobbery. He also, like, cuts slits in the side of his mouth, maybe so he can open it wider. Bondage. You see how he kind of looks like a Birdman? Maybe he's a burrito, I think they were called. Only appeared in Wind Waker. I don't know why that would be, because the Rito are all covered in the Zora symbol. Like, I guess the fish people evolved into bird people for no apparent reason. If the world's flooded and you're a fish man, then you're in freaking heaven. Like, you own the world now. I don't know why they would have evolved into bird people, but that's the impression that I got. Maybe they're freshwater fish people, and that's the whole issue. Alright, well, Midna's dying, and why would I dare end this on such a dramatic note? I tell you why, because I'm a bad streamer. For real though. Thank whoever for joining me. I will see you all in a week, hopefully. I don't know. things have been happening. I'm trying not to make a habit of it, but... I'll see you guys soon.